It can be lost, but it can also be restored. What's your experience? This is open for the room. What's your experience with when something went awry, but trust was restored? Have you ever seen it restored?
Takes.
My favorite thing about you answering questions, Shauna, is you say an hour's worth of stuff with your face before the words ever come out. I said, how much time? And you did, like, and for me, it was like, well, and the answer to that is it, ... it depends. It depends on who, it depends on what, it depends on how deep, it depends on how long, it depends on 1,000 different things. But to the extent that we neglect trust, it's an invisible barrier. It's something that it's vital, and you don't even have to be present for it to not be there. Which is why we asked the question at the beginning, what's it like to be on the other side of me? Or any of these questions, the big white card questions, there's lots of utility for those. My goal today is to give you at least one, but maybe 30 tools for you to navigate conversations that matter to you. I'm working on a talk now, call it the recipe for retention in a relationship economy. Because you've all got people at work, at home, and in your community that you want to stick around. That's called retention. It's not just for businesses, not just for chambers, but that is the angle that I'm going into it with. Because now in the age of AI, the more you can be, the better. Careful, you might say, well, that's not always true. The more, maybe the less Mike we can be, maybe the better. It's just one of those things. You've got to read the room. And back to another conversation we had earlier, when I asked you what percentage of communication and your experience is nonverbal. Do you remember the highest number we had? It was 91, yeah. The highest number we had was 91, the lowest number we had was 51. So if you only listen with your ears, you're forfeiting over half of what's actually being said. Not just from Shauna, but from everyone. But especially from Shauna, especially when it's great news, right? So that's the invitation. When you say, what's it like to be on the other side of me? They're going to say something that doesn't get them fired with their mouths, but they're going to say a lot more. Body language, or with smiles, or with whatever. You know that's true. Have you ever had a teenage kid who lives at your house? That's not tricky. It is tricky, but it's not tricky, right? It's that same concept, because everyone in the room, everyone who works at your place used to be teenagers. There's some things they haven't grown out of yet. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that either, but that's just part of the thing. So to the extent that we're wanting to build trust, because it's hard to earn, because one of the ways to build it is to be dependable, one of the variables is confidence. Let me ask you this question. You agree, disagree, or competence is tied to their confidence. You agree with that statement? Disagree with that statement? Their competence is tied to their confidence. When I count to 3, go ahead and vote all at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. If you're not sure, that's all right. Okay. Looks like the majority of us are right here. Or here. I like it. But that's all right. What makes you say that? Okay.
And they may not be.
So they appear to be confident. What I think you said is their competence that I see does not match the confidence that they display. Is that fair? Depending on who it is. I have a different kid who's always been very inquisitive, but what Jacob lacks in actually knowing, he more than makes up for with confidence. So it's not foolproof, right? But you know people like that, and there are times when I've been people like that. There are also times when I've been like, man, I think this is right. Gosh, you asked me what's 3 times 5. I'm better when there's not a crowd, but 3 times 5 in front of people, like I don't want to like write it out. I mean, okay, 15? Of course, you know what the answer to that is. But when everyone's looking at you, the lights are bright, you're not in an interrogation room, but you might feel like you're getting interrogated, right? So it's a little bit different. Do you know anyone who says they're not a good test taker, but they were actually pretty good at passing the test that they took? Now, flip it. You know anybody who says they're a great test taker, but not so much? It's tricky. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all.